Hameen Media Group presents your NXT Next Level Wrestling Review with your host, Big Ray and the Vet. So,
are you ready? We said, are you ready?
good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night. Whenever you're watching us, ladies and gentlemen, this is NXT's, this is the Next Level Wrestling Review, NXT review show, as we will break down the latest news, grooves that will soothe your soul. Oh, yeah. It's NXT versus TNA, ladies and gentlemen. We have waited our entire lives for this very moment. Just like last night, we waited for that moment that Aaron Judge was waiting to have as he hit the ball 1,000 miles into the air, bounces off the foul or the fair pole, giving the Yankees a chance in hell to come back against Toronto. But neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're saying to yourself, who is this overweight gentleman talking baseball on a wrestling show? I am the pundit of the people, the man with the plan, Big Ray, here today to talk some Lucha Libre today. And ladies and gentlemen, I am certainly not alone. Talking about baseball, did you know that this man was not only a professional wrestler, but he was the starting shortstop for the Montreal Mudhawks in the Canadian Minor League Baseball League? It's true. Look it up. Anyway, he is also the best in the world there, and he's the best in the world right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the one, the only, the Vet. He was a shortstop. He's a Rip Rogers guy. The Vet. Vet. Canadian Mudhawks. Rip Rogers guy. Ladies and gentlemen, he was number 14 on the Mudhawks, but number 1 in your heart. He is a Rip Rogers guy. It's the Vet, Jamie Williams. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. If I played any baseball, it wouldn't be shortstop. I can assure you of that.
Oh, you're a shortstop, sir. Were you catcher? Don't say you're a catcher. It's weird.
No.
Oh.
DH, probably.
DH? You
DH, bench rider, I think is what my position would be. If I had to go out there, right field, I guess.
See, you know what? I agree with the professor. You kind of do look like a second baseman, you know?
Well, second baseman is just the other shortstop, right?
Well, no, that's two different positions, different angles,
it's
different skill set.
It's a shortstop.
Well, anyway, it's so good to be back here with my buddy here, the Vet, and as we man, what an exciting night, dude. I mean, we've waited. When did TNA start? Total Nonstop. What was it? 2001?
2002.
2002.
So even like 12 years before, 11, 12 years before NXT existed, we were really just waiting for this night.
I mean, it's been almost 25 years. Let's just round it up. So almost 25 years, a quarter of a century.
It's been 30 years. Yeah.
Well, yeah. 30 years, has it?
It's been about 30 years. About 35, 40 years, I think.
My Lord. Well, we waited.
TNA predates Hulkamania, basically, is what.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do remember when TNA they were holding a show the same night that Bruno Sammartino lost the title at Madison Square Garden to Ivan Koloff.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that. I think the main event of that match of that night was Elix Skipper versus El Macias or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They brought in the great El Macias.
But we all forget about that just because the other thing was so more monumental, you know.
It's devastating. They had a special guest referee, Gorgeous George. It was crazy. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. Good to be here. And it's gonna be a fun conversation. And speaking about fun, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we could just jump right into it because we don't have anything else to do. So
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You're gonna acknowledge me. You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
We'll just take a look into the heavens. It's a cloudy day here in New York City, but it's sunny in heaven right now. And I'm going to give a big shout out to my buddy up in heaven, the man, the myth, the legend, Media M5, the man who got the gabagool. How you doing? And I'm also going to give a shout out to my boy, that dude Tim. So, you know, you guys can argue over sports and stuff like that up there, and then go get my father, and he'll chokeslam both of you in heaven. How you like that? I like them apples. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the windiest of all Chris's, a.k.a. Chuckles himself. It is Chris Winland. He says, it's going to be a fun show.
Yes, boy!
Oh, you're talking about yesterday's show. You're bugging. Well, it was a little fun. It wasn't that bad. But the vet's going to tell me how I'm wrong. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, Javette, you know, it's that time of year, brother. Did you get your J12 shot?
I get a healthy dose of J12 wherever I go.
Well, of course, we all should, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, what up, HMG? I haven't watched NXT since they've joined the CW, since I don't have that channel. I saw clips on Twitter. Too much Jordan Grace, too much Kalani. Well, we'll discuss that, brother. Vet, real quickly, is there ever too much Jordan Grace?
Any Jordan Grace.
I agree. We have the hottest man in all.
On all of HMG, Scott Woodford is here, and Ray has gone to the... Oh, he's already... That was the quickest trip to the Phantom Zone I've ever seen.
Quickest? Bro, I had another family.
Well, for us, it was 1 second.
In this universe that I just came from, that I spent literally my entire life, Juan Soto actually won something. Wow. I know, right? Shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a man who's just magnanimous. This man is absolutely scholarly. This man is mother effing glorious. It's the Professor Chalbela Veracruz. What's going on? Wait, what? The only way to enjoy a day off from work, HMG. Why are you not here? Oh, wait. Would that be okay?
Well, I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't want to torture the professor with remembering this show.
Yeah, I'm sure, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna throw the link up, and in the PWR StreamYard gimmick that we have here. Professor, go to the PWR StreamYard if you're interested in talking some NXT. I mean, you are the best, so we can't not.
And actually, you know, if you have a day off, whatever day off your day off is, I mean, HMG's probably doing something. So
exactly,
it works,
which is awesome. And speaking of not having a day off, this is Mr. No Day Offs, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, the only, the master and ruler of the world, who doesn't give a damn who you are. It is Zane Vicious, ladies and gentlemen. How about them Blue Jays? Yeah, how about the Blue Jays today? Bullpen session. It's a bullpen game, folks. They're gonna have all their tired arms out there throwing up potatoes. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't want to be. I think I've learned my lesson. Bring the arrogance down. The Yankees haven't won shit since 2009, so I am no one to talk shit. We are blessed and lucky to be here right now. Plus, with that manager. Fuck, Aaron Boone. We're lucky we're not playing the Savannah Bananas or something like that. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the lovely Elizabeth here. So lovely, yeah. What's going on, Liz? Morning, guys, she says. Oh, boy, we have the biggest ass in all of HMG. Frank's Picklebarrel ass, ladies and gentlemen. He says, I play right field. Big bat position. Oh, my. Oh, my. Why I need that soundbite? Who was that? George Takei? Oh, my. Mm-hmm. I could just do it. I don't know if I do it justice. I'll do it one more time. Oh, my. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the handsome one, the dancer one, the slasher one, the handsome dancing Dan Heffron. He's here just saying hi to Liz, not us. He don't care about us. I don't blame him. She's the best. The artist has finally returned. He says, howdy, y'all. Send me your super chats. I wonder does the artist speak that way?
No.
Why not? That's how I always thought that he would speak.
No.
Still on furlough, ruined my New York trip to the Eagles game tomorrow.
Well, isn't he like a Philly guy or a Pennsylvania guy at least? I don't.
Yeah, but you could talk that way.
I guess there's rural areas in Pennsylvania, but yeah, it does. I don't.
I mean, he is a government worker, and they're still, Trump still has his shit fucked up right now with the gimmick schnavis that nobody's getting their checks and stuff, and the government workers aren't working. I got a question for you, artists, and this is not wrestling related. If you guys lose time, maybe the vet knows the answer. Do you guys get that money back, or do you guys not get paid? I'm just curious how that works out. So, big up to the government workers. We love you guys. We have number 59, Paul, a.k.a. the Shooter. Pew, 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 pew. He says, meh, the Stankies still suck. Well, it's better to suck than stroke, like the Mets. Just saying.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
And it's Darkside Caster. The rest. Wait, what? Did he shorten it? Standard definition? I like that. RWV. I'm gonna call you that from now. RWV.
The real RWV.
The real. Very good. RWV. And ladies and gentlemen, we have This Ain't Texas. It says Dynamite was hot. NXT surprisingly delivered. I am getting a lot of that. I went on social media this morning and people were very positive about it, but we're going to find out from the vet why this was the worst show of all time. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. He's going to teach you something. He always does. And I think that's it. Did I miss anyone here, vet?
I don't think so. But I would like to point out that Dan did say greetings and salutations like he always did first.
Oh, I apologize.
Even before saying hi to Liz, which we wouldn't blame you if you only said hi to Liz. But for the record, you did say hi to everyone.
Elizabeth is literally the best. Elizabeth, we love you. We do. And we love all you guys. That's why we're here. If we didn't love you, we wouldn't be here doing this shit. It says, Dan Heffron real quickly says, government workers get payback, contractors do not. Trump has said that the government workers might not get, oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. And you are awesome sauce, my friend. And with that being, what's that, Vet? Do you agree?
Oh, I was just thinking of I don't mean to kick anybody when they're down, but a lot of government workers do like to get a lot of money for doing absolutely nothing and taking every possible holiday and time off and everything that they can. So,
like straight up bullshit. But
yeah,
a lot of days off.
Yeah,
not off.
Not like Mr. No Days Off, Darren Young, Zane Vicious.
Right, exactly. And revamped wrestling videos, pal. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's time. What is it time for? Well, do the countdown, ladies and gentlemen. It's not time for the 1, not time for the 2. It is time for the 3 count. This is the 3 count. With the latest breaking news in pro wrestling, sports, pop culture, and more. Now, back to Big Ray and the Vet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone tuning in for the first time, we do the 3 count, which is the news and news of the day, news rumors of the day. And also we will go back in the day really quickly and talk about this day in history. And then eventually we get to NXT. So this is a fun show. You get a little bit of everything here every single week, every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at HMG. Any updates on the Hami Media Group Twitter page that's been apparently somehow fucking suspended?
I didn't know. I
didn't know either, apparently. Somebody tagged me in it like 3 days ago. I had no idea. Wow, what did we do? We're always doing something wrong, right? Whatever. Anyway, what are you going to do, bro?
I'm just the talent.
Just move back a little bit. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of talent, let's see what we got here. We have the very talented vet, Dave Meltzer. You may have heard
He's
of him.
some kind of a savant, yes.
More of like on the spectrum side, but yeah, sure. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said that Roman Reigns is currently slated to be in War Games again this year at Survivor Series, because he is also expected for the Royal Rumble. Meltzer speculates a possible match with Seth Rollins won't happen until maybe WrestleMania next year. The fuck is he talking about, sir? This is like all obvious.
Roman Reigns?
This is all like obvious stuff. I'm just wondering. I'm asking for a friend.
Whoever he talks to may have said something. But I think as time goes on, you're going to see these guys get less and less, from their sources. I mean,
oh yeah.
Think about who your sources might have been, and maybe some of those people have gotten released. I mean,
probably, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, with the I would imagine that with the TKO takeover, there's probably been like, a clampdown on this kind of freely divulged information to these people, so I don't know how long they're going to have the sources they have, and some of them may have already, jumped ship, so to speak. So
yeah.
So can you really? But it's like,
don't they?
I mean, I guess I don't know, because I don't know who all the sources are. Well, because like I know it was Heyman for a while, right? Well, that's the rumor. I have no concrete proof of any of this.
This is allegedly, folks.
Right, but come on, it was Heyman, right? So, but that was a different time, and Heyman was maybe in different positions, and over the years, we all know Heyman can be, let's say, less than truthful at times, to his own benefit in the short term. So I could see how maybe a long-standing relationship could sour over time.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, everything you're saying is 100% on. Yeah, it's correct. I mean, but I still do. I mean, even if a wrestler is not wrestling with the WWE, they still all hang out. They still talk. They still chat. They still telegraph. What is it? Telephone, telegraph, telewrestler? Is that the old terminology, the old thing there? Hey, what's going on? Aaron Ben Shlomo says, good morning, everyone. For once, NXT, a good show. Another person that enjoyed NXT. And I got to be honest again, folks. I really enjoyed NXT last night, but the vet's going to tell me why I didn't. So you got to tune in. You got to stay here. Wrestling Observer also agrees that a multi-person match, hold on one second, I got a cough, is likely to determine Rollins' next World Heavyweight title challenger, which may involve CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Okay. These things are like, I don't know. Let me just move on. Xavier Woods.
This is like calling the Mean Gene hotline back in the 90s.
This is so ridiculous. This is like,
just fork over your $14 up front. Don't worry about the per minute charge. Just
so silly.
Here's your $14 for nothing.
Wait, what is this? Darkside Caster says, Vet says he's a snake. Are you a snake?
If the topic of Paul Heyman comes up, Darkside Caster will not miss a chance to jump all over him.
Do you even know what I'm doing? He's a snake.
Maybe.
With that meme?
What is that?
It's a fucking meme. Anyway,
oh, sorry.
He's a snake. Anyway. Xavier Woods signed a new deal. You may have heard of him with the WWE as per Fightful Select. So you paid for this information to find out that Xavier Woods is signed a new deal. His negotiations apparently came down to the wire. What would the WWE do with no Xavier Woods, Vet?
Probably the same thing they always do.
Find
now,
one?
another one that came down to the wire and went the other way was Santos Escobar. They offered him a deal and he just walked. Interesting.
Because WWE didn't let him wear his mask.
No, they did. Remember when he came in? He was he was Fantasma,
wasn't he? Was he?
Hijo del Fantasma, and then like he wrestled as Phantasma for a little while, and then he lost the mask. Remember that? No. Yeah, no, it was the same run because after that, that's when he turned into the gimmick. The gangster gimmick and started kidnapping people, remember?
Man, they I think you talked about this with Jimmy, or was it Brandon? One of the two. And by the way, big shout outs to Jimmy, shout outs to Colin Wysong, and shout outs to Matt Schaffer filling in for me yesterday. I was watching from my job, and it was
Did Jimmy end up filling in? I didn't see him on this.
What's that? Well,
Huh?
Jimmy had internet issues.
Oh.
The wallabies in the back chewed through the internet cable wires. So anyway, what the hell was I talking about? What were we talking about right now?
We were talking about how Santos
Oh yeah.
started out as his old gimmick, actually came in using his old gimmick, and then transitioned out of it in a storyline way.
So what I was going to say was that you were discussing how they really kind of, I hate using that term because we use it so much, drop the ball. But there was so much more they could have done with Santos Escobar. And if they had elevated that little faction and kind of built around that thing like they had in NXT, I think he could have done well. And it's a shame, man, because like you mentioned, like he's not like a little guy. He's a big dude. He's about at least 6'1", right? 6'1".
Who?
Santos. How tall is Santos
Oh,
Escobar?
no.
He's not 6'1"?
No, he's short, but I mean, it doesn't matter. He had
It's like he looked bigger.
Yeah,
Chris
he
Jericho seems bigger than what he is.
right. Yeah, like that.
Right.
The aura was bigger.
Man, the pants. Anyway, all right, so good for Xavier Woods. Let's move on here. We got they also say, and that's probably a Fightful Select, that Hikaru Shida, you may have heard of her. That's a her, right? Hikaru Shida? I don't know. Is that a her? Anyway,
Yes.
signed a new contract with A&W. The root beer.
A&W
place.
root beer?
Yes, sir.
She's going to be a root beer spokeswoman?
Yeah, root beer spokesperson, and also
Nice.
they make cream soda. For multiple years on her visa issues.
We already
Pardon
made
me?
fun of this on the
Okay.
wreckage.
Let's move on.
There's really no info on it.
Let's move on. The Observer notes that multiple, not just one person.
It's not just me saying it.
Sports
Sports Illustrated says it.
Wait, what is this? How old is this shit? Am I looking
You
at
reading
something
last
old?
week's news?
What am I looking at? Hold on. Let me just make sure.
Are you looking at this day in wrestling history?
Oh, no. This is October 8th because this is weird. They have a thing that says multiple people believe Santos Escobar is head of the AEW. This is today's news. They must have put this. I think they put this here by mistake. That's weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Smash Machine, only making Johnson took $4 million a fee to, which is historically below his $20 million minimum paycheck plus bonuses. Sources say he even all right. So let me see. Sources say he even gave a portion of his paycheck to Emily Blunt and Mark Kerr. Oh, that's nice. Should have gave the whole fucking paycheck. What's $4 million to The Rock? Are you interested in watching that Smash Machine movie at all?
A little bit.
Right.
I want to
Cool.
see. I don't really care about the movie. I don't care about the story of the guy, but I'm interested to see if old Dwayne does have a good performance in him. That's not just him as The Rock standing around smiling in a movie all the time, or just getting dirty or having tight T-shirts.
Yeah, he has a lot of tight T-shirts. I'm looking through just regular news. Is there anything that you've heard on the internet? You know what I like doing now? I don't know if this works for you, but I go to Twitter.
Well, the
And I
old
type
Tennessee
in-
couponers asked a couple of times now, what do we think about Bailey doing a free wrestling school?
Shut up. That's awesome. I think that's great.
I don't think it's a wrestling school. I think it's a seminar. It's like but if it's free, that's nice.
It's still-
3-day seminar or something. I'm not sure because I only kind of glanced at it and ignored it. Like I do most things. So
Yeah. Listen, here's the deal. If anything free, I mean,
I'm
say
thinking
what
about
you
checking
will.
it out.
I mean, whether you like Bailey or not.
Hey, Bailey, I'm thinking about getting in. I know it's a little late, but it's free. So, why don't you put me in one of them headlocks there? Or better yet, a head scissor.
Well, I wouldn't mind that. Reverse head scissor. How's that?
Reverse head scissor. Come on, Bailey. Don't tell me you don't know a reverse head scissor. Kids these days.
Yeah, pal. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds. If you have any questions or anything you wanted to talk real quick, because we're done with the wrestling news. You could bring it up right now. So you have about 10 seconds, and if not, free, bitch. Yes, that's true. But I think that's a cool thing. Even if it's a seminar, like I said, Bailey's been there and done that. She's worked her way up through developmental. She was a fan as a kid. She literally lived out her dream as a professional wrestler, as one of the top, if not the top women in the industry at one point in juncture. So you're getting fucking free advice from a young lady like that? Why not? And I'm not talking about the advice that, that some of these wrestlers use. I'm talking about like actual advice. So that's pretty cool. All right, I guess we have nothing. Nobody gives a shit. And then just Revamp Wrestling just wants to put up a picture of Bailey's ass or something. I don't know. All right, so let me see. Oh, we have one question here. It says, Booker of the Decade. As we know, Aaron Ben Shlomo says, Vet, in your professional opinion, why everybody cares about names of pay-per-views to the point a name became a comedy, I guess he was saying meme? Mine? Am I reading this correctly? Or
comedy mine? Maybe like you're mining the comedy out of it, like with a pickaxe?
Vet, hold on one second, my friend. Ladies and I'm gonna play this music here real quick. The acknowledgement music. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a man who is absolutely glorious. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. My friend. Oh, I'll put him back in. My friend, my brother, Professor Chalbelo de la Cruz. What's going on, Prof?
I thought you were going to treat me like Scott Woodford. Once you said all that, and then I disappeared. My goodness, it's the reverse.
Well, you disappeared. We're not that sexy. What's going on? You are the only person that can come on this show and Vet smiles.
I appreciate that. I get a link to come on the next level, and I was on the crapper, so I didn't want to accept the invitation that way. So
Are you still on the crapper? Is that your bathroom background, your wallpaper?
No. I had to do it right because, again, this was an invasion. It wasn't a showdown. It was nothing. It was an invasion. Fuck Israel. I'm sorry. No, I'm just
Hey, free Palestine. Anyway, just kidding. Nobody cares. So, Professor, you came in at the right time because this is the time where we go back in the day. We borrow this time machine from you every single week. But before that, anything that we discussed over the last 5 to 10, 15 minutes that you would like to touch base on before we jump in?
I think that we could talk about I'll put a bow on it with the Santos Escobar. I agree with you, Ray, that it was a fumble job by Triple H. I think Santos
I took that from the Vet. I agree with the Vet, so you agree.
Well, he agrees with me plenty, so we'll just say he agrees with you.
Well, you were influenced by the Vet. Let me just correct myself. You was influenced by the Vet, and I'm just harping on what the Vet says, that it was a fumble job by Triple H on Santos Escobar. But again, the problem I always see here. What's up, Josh? How you doing, man? The problem I always see with the NXT to main roster jump is, I guess it doesn't matter. When it was Vince, when you go from NXT to the main roster, you don't have the momentum. And everybody thought that when Triple H was, head of creative, you would have at least more momentum going from NXT to the main roster. We just don't see that. It's just very surprising. I mean, again, Tiffany Stratton, she's the champion. She's the women's champion. She's got a little bit of that momentum, but there's very few. You can count on your hands the NXT to main event to the main roster jump that you could say has been positive. I think people are worried about Obafemi. People are going to be worried about maybe Ethan Page. People are going to be worried about Ricky Saints jumping to the main roster because are we going to see that momentum? That's the problem. And Triple H has got to combat that. I blame it on The Rock. Let's just all blame it on The Rock.
Yeah, definitely The Rock's fault. I fear for anybody that's not a blonde white woman.
That's true.
because they're the only ones that really get much play on Raw or SmackDown up until, Stephanie came in and they treated her like but I guess she's just so undeniable. You can't really, you can't really do anything else.
Well, Julia is not blonde, but she don't have black hair. It's kind of like whitish and stuff, but she hasn't kind of carried over from her Stardom days to the NXT momentum we
haven't seen anything she can do yet. This is just the laziest, most basic baseline Julia. So if people like this, imagine if they let her do something.
I agree with you.
I gotta say hello to Kevin Marty. What's going on, buddy? We got three studs here.
Yeah,
two
but yeah, so I don't know, and I don't really know what goes on. Maybe because Triple H seemed a lot more excited about Santos when he first came up, and it could just be a thing where, and I discussed this before, but he's just the guy at the head of the table that kind of has, some final say on stuff. And if these people ain't bringing him stuff for Santos, then he's not going to sit at his laptop and do all Santos creative by himself. He's got a lot of other stuff to do. So it could just be down to everybody else not seeing it, or just not caring, or just wanting to write for the white women. Whatever the case is in that room that we get to see on Unreal, which season 2 coming soon, right? Oh, whatever's going on in there, but everybody will blame Triple H, but it's not like he's going to write the whole show. This is kind of how this has been. It's always been political in terms of like who has favorites, like which performers have writers that are backing them up and always pitching for them,
Professor, any thoughts before we close out here?
Bring back Freddie Prinze to the writing team.
Can you do me a favor? Can you literally physically toss me the keys to the time machine? Thank you. Okay, cool. Got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to jump into the HMG, the PWR time machine, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go back in time. Not only with me and the vet, but we have the professor, the owner of the time machine, here with us for this day in professional wrestling history.
Will you stop? What you gonna do? Boobies.
What's your name, fella?
Triple H.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going back, way back to 1990 something. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is 1991, and we are going. And I gotta right now. I know this. The professor is an expert in what I'm about to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We're going back to 1991 with the York Foundation. Richard Morton, Thomas Rich, and Terrence Taylor defeated Dustin Rhodes, Big Josh, and the great Tom Zank, aka the Z-Man, to win the WCW Six-Man Tag Team Championship. This was the last title change before the championship was abandoned the following month. Professor, what happened here? Why did they get rid of this great six-man tag team gimmick, and how come professional wrestling has gone away? I mean, no legitimate organization has a six-man tag team gimmick anymore, right?
Well, you know what? It's funny because back in the glory days of the 80s, the six-man tag team championships were synonymous with Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors. The six-man tag team championships were synonymous with the Fabulous Freebirds and World Class. The six-man tag team championships were synonymous with the Von Erichs of any combination. That's the aura. That's the glory days. That was where the money was. Right. You just named the champions of the York Foundation. That doesn't draw interest. That doesn't draw money. But at least it gives people props to carry and shit like that.
Who's
ROH tried. Wait.
Who's Big Josh? Okay, sorry.
Big Josh was Matt Bourne.
Okay.
Was Doink the Clown.
Okay, I knew that.
A variation of a lot of things. But I was about to say, they've tried to elevate the 6-man tag team championships in ROH. Remember the Elite? They were the champions. Did anybody care? I guess not. Tony Khan was a fan of the 6-man championships. He brought them in. Again, who's the champions now? I forget. Does it matter?
Wait a second. AEW has 6-man tag team champions?
Yeah, right now the Ops are the champions.
The who? I'm not kidding you. Who?
Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Will Hobbs are the 6-man tag champions. See? You don't even know. You're bewildered right there. I can see it in your face.
Bro.
And Vet is excited to even hear that I'm naming the AEW 6-man tag team champions.
I thought you were going to keep playing it off like you didn't know who they were, for comedic purposes.
Well, I would, but again, if I call myself the professor for a reason, I have to keep that gimmick going.
True.
Oh my God!
You painted yourself into a corner with that professor gimmick.
Yes.
Vet, any thoughts on the 6-man tag team?
Yes.
You were a big fan
I
of
have
Tom
thoughts.
Zank.
Yeah, I was like, one of these names is not like the others when you're talking about Dustin Rhodes, Big Josh, and Tom Zank, the Z-Man. Was he the Z-Man? It was the Z-Man, right?
Yes.
He wasn't calling himself Tom Zank right there. This wasn't the Can-Am connection.
Oh, that's a great tag team, by the way. Yeah. Underrated. What is it? What do you say, Professor? The Can-Am connection?
Untapped potential.
Untapped potential. Are we going to do a Can-Am? Is the PWR going to do a Can-Am wrestling untapped potential?
For the new fall season? I see why not.
Why the hell not, right? Untapped.
Is this going to have to be like a 15-minute addendum, right? How much can you say about the Can-Am connection?
You know what's the beauty of that is because TW can ramble for about 30 minutes. And then
when is he coming on the show?
When
is he coming on here?
I can't control that, Ray. You know he works.
Anyway,
he's in a van down by the river right now working.
All right, well, don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, here, and share this video with your friends, family, and also your enemies. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, last week the Professor and Tommy Wonder spoke about wrestlers versus reporters when interviews got real. That was a good show, by the way. I really enjoyed that. You guys talked a long time about John Stossel and all these other issues. What are you guys talking about this week, real quick?
What are we talking about this week? My goodness. Why are you putting me on the spot?
Come on, dummy. Come on. You already know.
I'm just saying, man. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. All right.
You're the host. You're supposed to do that.
Normally we do the plugs at the end.
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, I just wanted to plug them now. Get it plugged. Anyway,
I just came from the bathroom. Don't plug me again, man, please.
Don't worry about it. We'll plug it at the end. We'll plug it. You're gonna have to stay tuned to find out what the PWR show is gonna be about this week. All right, it's 2001. We're gonna fast forward, Vet. We're gonna fast forward, Professor. We're going to 2001 on the episode of Raw in Indianapolis, Indiana. Stone Cold Steve Austin won his 6th and final WWE Championship by defeating the great, my favorite wrestler of all time, Kurt Angle. Mere weeks after losing the belt to Angle at Unforgiven. Also on the episode, Booker T and Test lost the WCW Tag Team Championships to a team that we saw tonight maybe win Tag Team Championships, the Hardy Boys. Any thoughts? Anyone could jump in? Go.
I'll let the Vet go first.
Did Steve Austin ever lose a match clean?
No.
So I don't remember how he would have, lost the belt, got the belt back. I don't remember any of this. Just remember it was a lot of weirdness going on because of this invasion thing that was sort of going on. I do have a question, though, that maybe the Professor can answer. What is the deal with the giant V? What was that supposed to mean?
Copyright, trademark, IPs. It looked good on a shirt.
But yeah, I was gonna say, like, why just the V? Is it like the miniseries from the 80s with the lizard people? Is that it?
Invasion was.
But you know what? You needed to put some blood along the N and the A. You see right there with the big V, but they didn't want to do that too. So it didn't want to be too graphic. It wanted to be too gruesome for the kids. You got to remember the kids. So just the big V is right there.
All the kids that were saying "suck it," you don't want to give them the wrong idea.
Well,
I always thought the V
stood for victory. Like, who's going to have the victory in the
In Victory Asian.
What do Asians have to do with this? Anyway, 2006, WWE presented No Mercy at the RBC Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Collins from there. In the main event, King Booker retained his World Heavyweight Championship in a fatal four-way match against Finlay, Bobby Lashley, and Babatista. Also on the show, MVP made his WWE debut with a win over enhancement talent Marty Garner. I'm going to go to Professor first, because, Professor, you are the king of untapped potential. How much untapped potential was left on the table with MVP during his run in the WWE, in your opinion? And I'll go to Vet.
Well, I always will say this. I say this on the PWR. I think you need options. I think the potential is always there. If it's not in WWE, you go to AEW. Well, at that time, if it's not WWE, you go to Japan. If it's not WWE, you go to Ring of Honor. If it's not WWE, you go to PWG. That's why everybody always says support wrestling, support all wrestling, indie wrestling, or even the corporate wrestling. But as long as you have options, and as long as the boys and the girls have a chance to plight their crafts and make money and make a living, that's the thing. Did they see money on the table with MVP at the time? No, they didn't. But MVP has to move around, get his reputation going, and then he eventually came back, and then now he is where he is right now.
Well, but that doesn't really, like, Vet. I mean, my question was basically, did the WWE see a world champion? I should ask that question in MVP. Did you see a world champion MVP during his run?
I saw it, but I didn't see them seeing it, if that makes sense.
Of course.
Like,
why?
It made perfect sense to me why they wouldn't do it. But also, out of MVP's own mouth, he says that he has unreliable sources that he just didn't want to give up because they could still be working now. But he says that he has unreliable sources that it was definitely kicked around about him becoming the champion. The reason they didn't do it, he speculates, is because as a convicted felon, international appearances and stuff like that would be like a nightmare for him to have to go through all those, like, you have to call in special favors and do all those things just to get in the country and stuff like that. So they decided, well, maybe just don't make him the champion and we don't have to worry about that stuff. And then we could leave him off all the tours. And I guess that's what they did, but they definitely saw it in him. And MVP in that era, which up until late teens and through pandemic empty arena wrestling era, that mid 2000s era there, was probably the worst wrestling ever was, in my opinion, to watch. It was horrible. And the only
even worse than pre-Raw era with the Doink and all this stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Because those guys were still good workers. You're talking about Matt Bourne. He's a good worker,
he was
right?
A really good worker. Yeah.
But we're talking this, and no disrespect to the guy, he's a major star, but like, this was the Great Khali Championship era. This is what we're talking about here. So the only people that I enjoyed even watching, or even there was a glimmer of hope in being entertaining on the show with everybody else just going through the motions, or it was MVP and Mr. Kennedy. Those were the only two guys that when I turn on SmackDown, I enjoyed what they were doing, and I enjoyed what they seemed like they could be the next big thing. But of course, the guys that were there at the time, Cena, Orton, Batista, just going to put the thumb on that. They're only going to get so over. Politics, yada, yada, yada. And everything it's just John Cena versus Randy Orton 500,000 times in the mid to late 2000s.
So the consolation for MVP was to be the U.S. champion in WWE. The consolation is going to New Japan and becoming the first Intercontinental champion there. So you're right, Vet, that he had a lot of potential, that we could all see him as a future world heavyweight champion. Yeah, the politics played an ugly part of it. You could say racial or whatever the case may be. And like you said, his background check didn't fit the mold for WWE for international tours and promotions and stuff like that.
See, now this is where, and again, it's like potential. Usually that word, as we talk about often, Ray, the potential word is a bad word. That's for people that you keep thinking that they should be something and they can't. MVP definitely realized his potential. Just because he wasn't made a world champion in a fake business doesn't mean that he didn't have his potential realized. It's just how far were they going to market the potential. But it seemed like what they did with him was really good for a while, so that allows his talent to shine through. And actually, if they were smart to get around that whole idea, they could have made it an angle where he plays up the fact that he's being held down and that he can only, he can only get so far or whatever, because there's these chosen boys, and that could, result in feuds with those top guys. But the bottom line is, we want to talk, a lot of fans, as fans, we want to talk about, oh, well, these guys didn't realize this potential or whatever, but in reality, it's just that you had those guys at the top that didn't want to work with you. The Randy Orton, like, oh, he hurt me, he hurt me, get him out of here. That kind of bullshit. That's the reason why you don't see some of these people realize their potential.
You could use racism too. Everybody does it.
It would have fit with his character, right?
I think it would have. So with that being said, MVP over Strong. Let me just do this real quick. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So let's fast forward a little bit here, folks. And we have 2007. Some guy by the name of Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Yuji Nagata to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to go to Vet first. Vet is vehemently shaking his head. Vet, Tanahashi has been called the great one over in Japan, the ace, John Cena, I guess, of New Japan Pro Wrestling or Japanese wrestling in general. Your thoughts on this match and these two heroes of the Japanese wrestling world?
Well, I didn't see this match, but I do think that with Yuji Nagata, I mean, a lot of people got some exposure to him because he had a run in WCW there for a while when it was, doing super international business and bringing, stars in from Mexico and Japan. And so at this point, I think even at this point in 2007, maybe Yuji Nagata was representing the little long in the tooth category, and they really needed help out of the, financial situation they were in, because much like now, I think they were kind of sucking back then. And much like John Cena, I think Hiroshi Tanahashi was that for Japan, where he kind of carried the company out of it a little bit. So John Cena didn't have to carry the company out of like financial misery, but he was the poster boy for a long time, for better or worse, for the WWE. And I think, Tanahashi had a similar role in that. Like they put the company on his back, and all that putting the company on his back has completely destroyed his knees today, and which is why he's retiring at the Wrestle Kingdom this next year. But he is truly one of the greats.
Your thoughts there, Professor, of the great Tanahashi?
I think at the time of New Japan going through a different phase, because remember in the early 2000s, and Vet could attest to this, I think Inoki was still in charge of New Japan during the 2000s. They brought in Brock Lesnar, they brought in a lot of guys, they brought in Goldberg, they brought in China, just to get that international flavor and that appeal. And I think even the Japanese audience, they didn't want to gravitate to that. They were looking for young, hungry up-and-comers, and Tanahashi was at the right place at the right time with the right gimmick. And I don't want to call it a gimmick, but again, it is what it is. But he is the ace of New Japan, and his career speaks for itself, and they entrust him to be the president of New Japan right now. So hopefully he could scout the next generation of talent for New Japan and bring it to the level that probably a lot of American fans haven't seen since the mid 2010s.
All right, very cool. All right, let's fast forward here. Let's go 10 years. Let's go 10 years into the future. Let's go to 2017, folks. We have the WWE Hell in a Cell that took place in Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Hey, that's where Tommy's from, isn't it? Tommy Wonder? Detroit, Michigan? The Detroit, what is he, the Detroit, Michigan champion?
Yeah, the undisputed, undeniable Detroit Rock City Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world.
Right, that's Tommy Wonder, folks. Give him a follow on social media at the Tommy Wonder. Anyway, the main event saw Kevin Owens defeat Shane McMahon. Oh, fun fact about Shane McMahon. Did you know, out of the blue, he's been put onto the WWE. If you go to WWE.com, WWE's website, he's been put onto the active roster of wrestlers. This just popped off. This just happened about a day ago, and nobody's talking about it. Did you guys know? Did you? Well,
I saw it. Could that be a challenger for John Cena's retirement tour?
Who knows?
Just plug him in.
Who knows? I mean, listen, the smile on the vet's face says a lot. Oh, we're looking forward to hearing that song. Here comes the money. Money talks. Anyway. Shane McMahon with a surprise, assist from his rival Sami Zayn. In the highlight of the event was the New Day losing their tag team titles to the Usos in a Hell in a Cell match. The other title change that night saw Baron Corbin, you may have heard of that guy, win the U.S. title in a triple threat match against AJ Styles and some dude named Ty Dillinger. Also untapped potential. Perfect 10. So that happened. Anything you want to say, guys? Because that is the last of it.
Well, Ty Dillinger's in developmental, so hopefully he'll realize that potential, right? Really quick after his 30-year career.
One day. Any thoughts?
I don't know no Baron Corbin, but I do know Bishop Dyer, so I don't know if that's one and the same.
What is the name that he was using? The Periwinkle, something like Sam Periwinkle. He was using some weird name.
That's the name he's using, Bishop Dyer.
Stop it! Come on, stop.
No, he used his real name first for a second until he realized his real name sucked, and then he changed it to Bishop Dyer,
his real name is Tom Pestock.
Oh
yeah,
God.
that one.
That doesn't sell.
It does not. And you know what else doesn't sell? Bishop Dyer.
Well,
anyway, you know what else doesn't sell? That human being, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How dare you? Now that's untapped potential.
I dare.
He's pretty sucky. But listen, guys, why don't we wish happy birthdays? We got 3 birthdays here. 3 birthdays for October 8th. And let's go to 1966 with the great Art Barr. You can wish him a happy birthday. Also, you may have heard of this guy. He had sex with his sister, Paul Burchill. He's a pirate, born in 1979. The guy's actually younger than me. That's disgusting. It's his birthday. And ladies and gentlemen, go on the Twitters right now or the X and wish, or maybe the Blue Skies, which is about to get shut down, and wish The Miz, a happy birthday, born October 8th, 1980. Ladies and gentlemen, that was this day in professional wrestling history. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Let me shut down this gimmick. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for NXT. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can feel it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, it is NXT. Oh, no, not just a regular NXT, ladies and gentlemen. This is NXT versus TNA. This is Showdown. Or Invasion.
Can I offer a little critique, Ray?
Sure.
When you did that?
Why
didn't your lights flicker when you was doing that? Give it more ambiance. I'm just saying.
Oh, flickering lights?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try.
I mean, for next time. I mean, don't do it now. I mean, you're on a tight schedule.
Yeah! How's that? Did that work?
A for effort. I'll give you that.
NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Or TNA, whatever the hell this is. October 7th, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we have waited almost 30 years for this night. From the days of AJ Styles, the days of Ken Shamrock, Scott Hall. Who else was in TNA back in the day when it was a shit? Ladies and gentlemen, the Flying Elvises, Elix Skipper, AMW. This is Showdown. Was that dramatic enough?
Very good. It's more than it deserved.
Oh man, I tried, man. This was the shit. No, I'm kidding. You know,
Yeah.
I do have a flickering gimmick I'm going to use next week, Professor. Thank you for. I'm going to do that. Look, watch. I'm going to show you. Look, let me see if this works. Does that work? No.
I think your shirt's too light. I think you need a darker shirt, and then it works. Beautiful.
All right, I got something for next week. Thank you, Professor.
You got it.
All right, Vet. The ball's in your court, sir. Tell us why this show that most of the people, the consensus is they liked. You are going to tell us why NXT versus TNA absolutely sucked.
Well, I don't know if I should. I noticed that, Paul, aka Shooter, took a shot at me.
What?
Like his name implies. He said my opinion of Gallus doesn't sell.
Well, he's
Because I was saying that Tom Pestock didn't sell.
He's a Mets fan, so he's an idiot.
Well, I just want to know where you can find Gallus these days.
Oh, they're working at the Gallus station.
Got him.
Got him. Mets suck. Juan Soto's home.
Yeah. So we get a nice little video package to start the show, showing trying to make this out like it's a really big deal.
It's a big deal, though. It is big.
Well, we'll see how big of a deal it is. And we get the arrivals of all the big deals here in the building. We're starting out with
so big
DarkState
so dumb.
versus the Hardys for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Were the Hardys TNA Championships on the line also? I don't remember.
Yes, it was title for
okay,
title.
so it's winner take all.
It's a big deal.
Definitely. We get a hot start because DarkState, they don't play by the rules. They're just gonna jump everybody, all 4-on-2. They're gonna beat the shit out of them, right? But then the referee is like, "Hey, 2 of you guys have got to leave," and then they're like, "Oh man, I guess we got to leave." The terrorists, that broke into the general manager's office and vandalized everything and was just coming from everywhere, beating people down, have gone over to TNA shows and beat people down. And the ref's like, "Hey, 2 of you got to leave." And they're like, "Okay, sorry, bye." Right off the bat, this shows you the kind of people that work in this business today. What the fuck is the point of having an anarchist group that just obeys the small ass referee that's telling them, "Hey guys, 2 in, 2 out forever. Stop beating up the old men here."
The Hardys have stroke bet. I mean, that's why they can allow that to happen.
They look like they had a stroke in this match. Are you fucking kidding me? Can you actually believe that people would pay money to see the Hardys in 2025? They've been broken for 10 years, long before they had the gimmick. And then they waddle out here and fumble their way through this match, fucking everything up and stiffing everybody and being the absolute worst they've ever been. And then in the meantime, while that's going on, Jordan Grace is in picture-in-picture talking to the other ladies from the teams. Like, "Now you guys, you saw what happened to DarkState, right? They obeyed the rules, so you got to obey my rules at all times. Because if not, I'm gonna pile drive you." And the Dudleys are in the crowd, and they're like, "Oh my god, we actually
glasses on."
Yeah, with the glasses, they're like, "We actually wanted to wrestle these guys. Oh my god, we should have challenged DarkState." Yeah, and eventually Jeff Hardy falls off the top rope in what looks like a swanton, and we have new champions.
I'll let Professor jump in. Professor, 30 years we've waited for this. We've waited for the Hardys to become developmental tag team champions. Your thoughts?
Well, during the match, I remember the funny part of it. I think that you kind of attest to it. I think there was a part where DarkState was supposed to do a double clothesline on Jeff Hardy. One did a punch to the gut, and Jeff Hardy sold that. So one
Back
of the
bump.
other members, it was a back bump, and then the other member of DarkState kind of like stalled and said, "You know what? I got to do a leg shot to make it a double team move." So that's where 30 years in the business attests to.
Missed the leg drop, by the way. Completely missed the leg drop. Then Jeff Hardy took a bump again. This was awful. This match is awful. I'm telling you, like, there's a time when you just have got to hang it up and go home. But did the Hardys not save their money? That a TNA paycheck is important to them. I need to know.
But they love wrestling, Vet. I mean, it's their passion.
Yeah. You're right.
Hold on.
You're right. I'm
on,
sorry.
guys.
I apologize for everything I said.
It's okay. We accept your apology, Vet, but the question is, the statement is that I'm going to make here, it's not about the match. It's about the moment of the Hardy Boys winning their first ever NXT Tag Team Championships. Wasn't that worth Jeff Hardy falling off the top rope onto some random dude from another team?
Well, let me turn it around on you, Ray. How did you feel about this great moment?
Great.
All right, now give me the shoot version.
I thought it was a bad match. Listen, I mean, here's the thing when I watch a Hardy's match, which I can't believe I'm seeing in 2025, and I'm being sincere with you boys. It hurt. So I have two knees that fucking suck. Okay? When I see Matt Hardy take a bump and then have to kind of do like some weird side roll and push himself up without bending his knees, I'm like, shit, that's how I get out of bed. That hurts. So it hurts me to watch them wrestle. Not because I don't like them, because they should stop. Maybe Jeff can go a little longer. I think Matt needs to stop now.
Well, Matt's
like
got
after
children.
this match.
Matt's got children, and Matt's got a wife that spends a lot of money. Sorry.
Well, so does Jeff. Jeff has a kid. Doesn't he have a kid or two? Go ahead,
I think Jeff can stop more than Matt.
Go, Vet. I'm sorry.
Why don't the Hardys just go everywhere, take a ladder with them, and let the fans take selfies? $10 each on the ladder. They can both stand on the first rung of the ladder for safety.
$20.
Do the pose, get the selfie, and don't ever get in a fucking ring again.
Elizabeth says here, the match was bad at the end of the day. I don't hate the Hardys, that the Hardys won, if for no other reason than to give it the titles they never had. At least that, all right, so basically she's happy that they won because, they got the NXT titles.
But they robbed the moment, Ray. I mean, Vet, I didn't see this match. I just saw little clips here. But did they pan to TNA President Carlos Silva? Did he cry? Was he jumping for joy that TNA took those NXT tag team titles to the TNA side?
Well, TNA had Jace because Hardys are like...
That's where you ruined the moment. If we had Kevin Dunn under lock and key right now, he would have said, Carlos Silva, we're going to pan to you. You better cry. You better celebrate your ass off. Throw the hat into the ring. Say, this is TNA, TNA. That's a ruined moment right there. Number two, I'll say this. Do the Hardys need the NXT tag team championships? No.
Absolutely.
You said it's developmental. But now for today's IWC, Ray, that's another notch that puts you in that argument for Hardys as the greatest tag team ever. You're going to say the Road Warriors, you're going to say the Dudleys, you're going to say the Hardys. And then, of course, I'm going to say FTR for Vet's purposes. But again, you know that the tree is there. The tree, the pillars of the tag teams of all time is right there.
It's really just those three. I don't think we need to mention any other.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning the Young Bucks. I'll mention FTR all the time. I'm just saying.
No. Yeah. So look, you already know too what's going to happen to Bound for Glory, because you don't just get two guys that are semi-retired together and then they're going to go over on the Hardys, who are still, I guess, active technically. If you want to call this active, that's active. But it's more active than the Dudleys. And Devon was wearing the loosest, baggiest, blackest clothes I've ever seen on his last time when he was on TNA, and he still had a gut just hanging out, even though it was like he was damn near wearing a muumuu with a leather jacket over it. So I worry for everybody's safety in that match, because I feel like they're going to feel like they need to do something to live up to something they did 25 years ago. And if any of them are able to walk out under their own power, it'll be a miracle. And that's if they don't try to do anything crazy. If they try to do anything crazy, you might see somebody end their life in the ring that night. So not looking forward to it, but have to cover it. So here we go. Now, let's talk about some real good tag team wrestling. We've got the women's NXT versus TNA Survivor Series match. Your TNA team is the Inspiration, and Mara Sade and Kalani Jordan. So somebody that's in NXT now, someone was in NXT 6 months ago, and someone that was released from WWE 2 years ago. That's your TNA team. Now, for your NXT team, you get Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Reptilian Britt Baker. And the best part of this, guys, is that in the entrance, each person that came out, the previous person did that person's dance. So like Lola came out first, did the dance, and Jada came out, and they both kind of did a Jada Parker dance, and then Sol came out and they did a Sol Ruka dance together. And then finally JC Jane came out and they all did that snake dance that she does. Mm-hmm. So they're definitely in sync as a team there.
I like the snake dance.
Yeah. And Santino and President Carlos Silva were in the war room of sorts watching this match, probably sweating bullets. There was a lot of diving. The order of elimination was something like this. Mara Sade rolled up Jada Parker. Sol snatched Mara Sade. Lola eliminated both the Inspiration by herself, so fuck your tag team champions. Kalani did an angle slam from her obvious favorite wrestler, Kurt Angle, to beat Lola Vice.
Oh, God.
Reptilian Britt Baker breaks her foot kicking somebody and says, I gotta go. And then Sol hits the Soul Snatcher on Kalani Jordan, but JC's not that hurt. She slides in and steals the pin. So however that worked out, big win for NXT. So we're at 1 apiece if you're keeping score at home. Now, Ray, this match went for the length of a Lord of the Rings movie, it felt like.
It was a very, very long match.
They also, I'd like to point out one little detail. The crowd chanted traitor at Kalani Jordan during this match.
She's in fact the traitor. Number one, Professor, I'm sure you know that anything that Kalani Jordan is in, I disavow. But unfortunately, again, I can't disavow this match because for some reason, she's always put in these matches that have some type of major implications on NXT. So I have to watch.
Okay.
And with that being said, this young lady was given all the opportunities. Now she's terrible. She sucks. Now she's a good athlete and stuff, but she's the shits. I mean, no personality. Given everything handed to her, she even got handed a boyfriend that is a WWE main roster superstar in him. And they just keep giving her opportunity after opportunity. I don't feel like she's earned a fucking thing, in my humble opinion. So with that being said, she bites the hand that feeds her. You know, the Iron Sheik once said that he was asked by the owner of AWA Wrestling. Do you know who that is? Remember who that was back in the day, Professor? It's Vern Gagne. He asked me to break a Hulk Hogan leg. And I say, I cannot bite the hand that feed me. The hand that feed me, I cannot chop it off. Kalani Jordan, learn from the Iron Sheik, bitch. That's all I have to say about that. You are a traitor. You are gross. You are a terrible person. Go stay in fucking TNA. As a matter of fact, go to AEW. Just go. Is that fair? That's my rant of the day. I am disgusted by her. Oh, go ahead, Professor.
I understand how mad you are, Ray, but I'm looking at it from a different optic level because I'm looking at this Survivor Series match, which I have no problem with the Survivor Series match. I think we need Survivor Series elimination matches at the Survivor Series, no pun intended. But
disgusted. Look
at the players in this. NXT versus TNA, and I'm talking about the TNA side. You had a Mara J, who was released by WWE.
Four WWE wrestlers. Just say it, Professor. They're four WWE wrestlers.
WWE versus WWE. There was nothing that said TNA. Now, I'm sorry for Masha Slamovich for her, personal tragedies going on behind the scenes, but she was supposed to be on this team. I mean, Ash, I don't know, maybe Ash by Elegance, who has accentuated her career, whose career has been reborn in TNA. She deserved to be on Team TNA, but her ailments preceded that. But again, like Vet said, this is WWE versus WWE. It didn't make no sense to me. Like, there was nothing special about this. You could at least brought back the beautiful people or some shit like that. You could have at least brought back Awesome Kong to make it at least for the optics for me. This was, like I said, WWE versus WWE. Especially like you're talking about, you had a video package talking about the 20-year history of TNA. At least for the Survivor Series female side, you could have put the best that the Knockouts division had to offer in that time. And then the booking of Jordan Grace being the referee, Law and Order, was that supposed to tell me, like, oh, which side was she gonna, go for? Was she gonna be a little bit more lenient to the TNA side, or was she gonna be a lenient to the NXT side? That didn't play out for nothing.
I got a question for you.
Basic match.
I got a question for you. Was Jordan Grace better at refereeing than Don Stevens? Go.
Yes. No doubt about it.
Okay, you had no problem with her, like with her positioning in the ring, or her like being like over dramatic or anything like that, or when everybody was in the ring about to fight, she's like, oh fuck it, nothing. You good?
No problem with that.
I know Vet did.
She let the wrestlers perform. That's what it is. She didn't want to get involved like that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I know Vet's a big fan of Don Stevens, so I wanted to know your thoughts on Jordan Grace's job as a referee in this match.
I wasn't looking.
Okay.
She didn't do anything that made me angry, so I guess it was fine. Mustafa Ali and Ethan Page are walking.
Which is great, by the way.
Next we have Matt Cardona is in Ava's office trying to get a match with Josh Briggs, and he's always ready, so then Josh Briggs storms into the room, and the way he opens the door positions Matt Cardona so that he's actually hiding behind the door so that Josh Briggs doesn't know he's there. And then he says, I want a match with Matt Cardona. And Ava's like, okay, you can have a match next week. And then he leaves, and Cardona's like, I like the way things work around here. So that was that. Then they started playing Ali's old music from when he was in WWE, and nobody knew what that was, so everybody remained silent. And then they started playing his new music, and nobody cares about Ali, so they remained silent. And then Ethan Page came out, and they don't like him either, so they don't know what to do. They're completely unsure who they're supposed to cheer for between two obvious heels. Joe Hendry's in picture talking to the Survivor Series teams. The same spiel as Jordan Grace.
Listen to the rules.
Ray,
yeah.
Before we get to the finish of this match, is there anything you'd like to say about the content, the body of the match?
Oh, it was great.
Okay.
It was great.
So,
Ethan Page.
Yes, of course. Everything he does, I understand. Automatic 5 3/4. But the finish is...
I love this.
Okay, so guys, but I have to preface this, Ray. I got to practice prefacing.
What?
What if I ever end up in New York one day? How will I fit in? I have to know how to preface. So I'm prefacing this for anybody that isn't aware. There is a rumor going around a while ago that Ali on the Indies and in TNA is not interested in doing any jobs. Okay,
he won't lose.
Yeah, and so with that in mind, like I'm watching this guy's career because I have to watch TNA or whatever, and I'm starting to think that there might be something to this, or it's just all a coincidence, right? Well, I'm not going to say he's doing a job here because he has to lose the match, and that's different than just doing a job. But the finish of this match is his leg, after they do a bunch of bullshit outside and, end up whatever, his leg gets a microphone cord caught around it so that when he climbs up to the match, to the top rope to ostensibly win the match, he's got Ethan Page right where he wants him.
Right where
he's going to hit his 450 and he climbs up, but that microphone cord is on his leg, preventing him from, jumping off. And as he notices this, Ethan Page runs up and shoves him backwards off the top turnbuckle. Awesome. He takes a bump right to the floor, nothing breaking his fall, no table, no barricade. He hits his head on the barricade after he rolled, after he splatted, but he basically fell off a building here. Then Ethan Page gets in the ring, he scrapes him off the floor. Well, you could have got a 10 count. He scrapes him off the floor, rolls him in the ring, hits him with the finish, and then beats him. Mm-hmm. So you had to knock him off a building and hit him with your finish to beat him. That was the only way you could get him to agree to lay down for 3 seconds. Awesome. This guy's amazing. It's no wonder that the WWE doesn't want to have anything to do with him anymore other than this. I never rooted for Ethan Page so hard in my life, and that was still complete and utter indifference on my part. So great. Amazing match. Classic. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Listen, Ali could even have an argument that technically the wire was still wrapped around his leg, and the wire was draped over the bottom rope. So technically, the pin.
If he had tried, perhaps
the pin should not count.
Oh, I thought you were going a different way with that.
But it would only matter if they played it along during this 2-hour broadcast where he can complain to Santino, where he can complain to Ava about the technical difficulties that he went through during this match.
So
Goddamn microphone cord.
He's going to bury the finish. He's going to bury the finish of this match. For those that didn't get to really watch John Cena during his run, just watch TNA with Ali. It's the same thing, right, Vet? The indestructible, undeniable heart of total nonstop action wrestling, Ali. First and foremost, I don't think I've ever seen this before. And it's very rare when I say I've never seen something in wrestling before. I've never seen this shit before. So can you imagine the mental gymnastics that whoever was booking this match, or whoever was, the agenting this match, had to go through with Ali to make sure that he took a pin where there was no chance. You know what I'm saying? Like what they had to fucking come up with so that this dude wouldn't take a clean pin is just, it's fucking brilliant. It's a chef's kiss, bro. It's I just got charged $41 from Apple, and I have no idea why. Anyone?
Is that what you've been doing this whole show?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck am I getting charged $41.96 from Apple. Anyone?
Can you just wait
could be,
I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes maybe?
Could be your annual fee charge.
I've gotten charged this every month now for the last 2 months.
Oh,
this is the third month. Now I got to find out what the fuck is going on. Anyway, so with that being said,
I'm using it.
Just shut up. With that being said, listen, I love Ethan Page. If you were talking about just the match itself, I thought it was a good match. It wasn't bad, but man, I didn't know Ali was such a fucking world beater. It was like a Aliberg. It's I've heard you guys talk about it on with you and Brandon on Impact Attack, but I got to see it.
This is hilarious.
It's wild to me, bro. But Ethan Page goes over, as he should. Future WWE World Heavyweight Champion Ethan Page. And I was happy. I was happy about the finish. I thought about you the minute that cord, he was fucking with the cord around his leg. How did he get was there like a production person with the Booker T tie the cord around his leg? Will there be some type of wild conspiracy? Does he still do the conspiracy thing? Is he going to blame somebody?
No, he's just moved on to being like some evil politician gimmick.
Oh. So like the guy running for New York mayor,
maybe
the Mondani.
I think he watched a lot of V for Vendetta and stuff like that.
All right. Great match, great finish.
Professor, I don't know if you caught any of this, but you can give your general thoughts on these two men if you like.
I'm gonna go with the optics again. I mean, you got two heels going at it for the North American Championship. And of course, Mustafa Ali on TNA Television Weekly is the leader of the Order 4. So I'm kind of surprised that nobody made an appearance from the Order 4, that this was a very straight one-on-one match. No Tasha Steele, no Good Hands or whatever. No, what's that big guy's name? What they call him?
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. No Agent Zero, Talise. I mean, like you said, like Ali does not want to take a job. I guess that's true, but at least why not have Agent Zero mess up this match and Ali can look at Agent Zero like, you messed up my moment. You messed up my chance to be the North American champion instead of this faulty microphone botch job. I mean, you could have done something simplistic like that.
Coulda, but didn't. All right. So next we have Sarah Schreiber and let's just say Wagner. And Brian Pillman Jr. thinks it's Tavion Heights under that mask. So there's your little comedy. So the NXT ladies team, quote unquote, celebrates, and then Blake Monroe stirs the Zarisol pot. And now we have the men's Survivor Series showdown, which is the main event of the evening. So
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting for, folks.
Yeah.
No way NXT will lose.
No way. They got the momentum, after that big win from Ethan Page. Yeah, so the team, the men's team was, I'm going to try to do this because I didn't write them down. So the men's team for TNA was Frankie Kazarian, Moose, Leon Slater, and
Santana.
Yes, Mike Santana.
Right.
And Team NXT is Tricky Williams, Ricky Saints. I alwast called him Ricky Starks again. Javon Evans and Miles Bourne.
Yeah, the deaf guy.
What a hell of a team. When you thought dream matchups of WWE TNA or even just NXT versus TNA.
Deaf Randy.
I know that these were all the top people that you had in your mind. Well, and probably Moose was one of those because he may be the only guy. Santana, I guess. But Santana's only been in TNA a short while.
Well, what about Kazarian? I mean, he's
Frankie Kazarian makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. Let's put it this way: Team TNA men is way, way more TNA than TNA women.
100%.
So, yeah,
I think it's safe to say that the TNA roster is TNA. Like everybody on that roster, on that team, made their name really in TNA.
Yes,
so, 100%.
Yes. So, Frankie Kazarian hits a slingshot cutter on Miles Bourne, eliminates him. Leon Slater catches Javon leaping as he's known to leap. He gets very bouncy, but this time before he could bounce, he was schoolboyed. Trick Williams left Ricky Saints to handle it on his own. Ricky does the Brett and Piper WrestleMania 8 on Frankie Kazarian. He cradles Leon Slater after he gets his knees up on the 450. And I wrote down on my notes, Ray, this is what I was talking about. If he beats Moose, I am clicking this off right now.
I'm glad he didn't.
There is no fucking way I'm going to ever cover this show again if Moose loses to this fucking fuck.
Ooh.
But thankfully, it's thankfully, thankfully would have been either way because I would have got out of watching this stuff forever if he would have beat him. But because he didn't beat him, it's good that he didn't beat him, but now I got to keep watching it. So, Moose gives him a pop-up powerbomb as an assist before Santana hits a spin the block. But for a second there, I thought he really was going to beat Moose.
No, I didn't think they were going to do that to Moose, man.
Well, Team TNA wins. Professor,
now we're tied 2-2. Right there.
Yeah, just wow.
Can I say something?
All right, I'll just throw it to you.
Sorry,
Throw
Professor.
it to you, Ray.
I just had to get this out real quick.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, you say Team TNA wins, right? Of course, we have Trick Williams, who does the old the same thing that we knew he was going to do. It's been done 1,001 times. Where you want to tag me? Nope. Go fuck yourself. Because he was insulted, I guess, that Ricky Saints tagged himself in, whatever the hell it would be.
Oh, real quick before you continue on that thought, just to add to your thought, Ray.
Yes.
Trick Williams has a big match against Mike Santana.
He does.
So he's basically saying like, well, my future opponent, go ahead and I'll leave you to pick the bones of this guy that I have no future with. Go ahead.
Just a little thing I would have done differently to end this night. Okay? So Trick Williams technically once who was the first person? Oh, so Ricky Saints is the one that took the pin for NXT, correct? So once that happened, I would have had Trick Williams come back out, right? Because technically he was not eliminated. And I would have had Joe Hendry say, you got to get back in the ring. You got to get back in the ring. And he's just standing there like, fuck these guys. And have Joe Hendry count him out of the ring. Because technically, NXT didn't lose. Because they still have a guy that hasn't been eliminated. I don't care if he walked out of the ring. You don't just walk out of the ring and get fucking eliminated. There has to be some type of cohesion, like something, the rules to the shit.
That shows the inexperience of Joe Hendry as the referee for not abiding by that.
Oh, God.
So what you see here
Son of a
is
bitch.
he's forfeiting his spot on this match. So that's technically an elimination that Joe Hendry did not know about in the bylaws. Go ahead,
I even thought they could have went like a really weird way, right? And Joe Hendry take off his fucking referee shirt and join Team NXT and then have another referee come into the ring. They could even though that's weird, but they could have even done that. It would have made more sense than the fact that this guy walks out, and so NXT didn't really fucking lose. They still have a guy that hasn't been pinned.
Well, I mean, either way, NXT
me.
lost.
It bothered me.
Either way,
It bothered me,
NXT
though.
lost. Okay, well, let me help you out. Let me help you sleep at night.
Go for it, bro.
The moment that Ricky Saints was defeated, Trick became legal, and he did not answer the 10 count, so he was eliminated. So, in fact, your winners still are TNA.
Fine.
I mean, it's not my fault he became legal outside the ring and got counted out. That's just what happened. But anyway, so that was your basic show, and now we can, before I kick to the professor, I'll just put the cap on it, where at the very end of the show, Ava is telling Santino that there's going to be a number one contender battle royal next week, and any of the TNA knockouts are invited to participate in this battle royal, because they sure as shit didn't participate in Team TNA's side for the women. So anyways, that's going to happen next week. But Professor, your pretty little bow on all of this madness, if you please.
I can't wait for Kalani Jordan to, be included in that battle royal so she could be a number one contender for that, number one. And number two, for this Invasion/Showdown show, I understand Ray's frustration with the rules and regulations. So, it should have been a better way for this. But we know for this TNA versus NXT match here, it was all to set up Bound for Glory. It was all to set up that Tricky Williams was going to protect himself by any means necessary to be 100% going into Bound for Glory against Mike Santana. So that's what it was. He was hoping that Ricky Saints was going to do his dirty work. And it just didn't happen that way.
Sure.
I would have risked disqualification to hit him with a truck or something.
Could have been.
Since you're going to lose anyway, you might as well have gotten a barbed wire bat or something and just whacked him and said forget it, rather than hope that Ricky Saints could overcome a 3-on-1 situation. Well, 4-on-1 actually.
The only way, you could have done this kind of booking, but then I don't know if you would agree with this, but for the only one that Tricky Williams has some kind of rapport with on Team TNA would have been Kaz. So you could have done something behind the scenes where he paid Kaz a lot of money, finger poke of doom, eliminate himself in the first 60 seconds, and then just walk out. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, whatever they were going to do was going to be terrible because
Yeah.
they are terrible. They're all terrible. Everything's terrible. The show is terrible. So this is even worse. This makes the WCW invasion look like what we dreamed it would look like compared to this. Because TNA has nobody left. And the people they do have left, they're not doing anything with them.
But again, you cannot compare to the greatest invasion that happened in TNA history when Global Force invaded TNA, and TNA had to win that battle. That you can't never. The bar has been set high. Global Force invasion was the best.
Well, you're joking, but that's still better than this. Like, I don't care what this is the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of them trying to have like a interpromotional. Can you name a worse interpromotional fiasco than this 2 hours of TV?
Think about
anything,
it.
any invasion to USWA that happened. Sometimes that was ridiculous.
Lucha Underground versus TNA.
Yeah, there's no way that was worse.
I mean, you couldn't get any worse than fucking the WCW invading WWE back in the day because we didn't get WCW. We got fucking Mark Jindrak instead of Goldberg.
I know, but like Mark Jindrak looks like a lot compared to, I don't know, Kalani Jordan. You're invading with your own person?
Can I just tell you, like
you're invading with your own roster member.
You could have easily put the Rosemary in there.
Yeah.
Is Rosemary still wrestling?
Yeah.
So why is she not on that team?
I don't know, but the last time she was on NXT, what happened? You got mad, and you need to take your blood pressure meds because they just jobbed her out.
This is
so all anybody's ever seen Rosemary do on NXT is job out.
This is the shits, Professor.
After this, TNA has got a semblance of respect back. Everybody's been complaining that the IWC has been complaining that TNA has been, the bitch boy jobber promotion to NXT. After last night, no, they're on even par.
So let me ask you, Vet, was there any way that you thought that TNA they were gonna book TNA to win this main event thing?
I didn't.
Right.
The only thing in my mind, I only thought, well, they gotta do something for TNA because this shit don't matter, and that's why they would let TNA even go off at the end of the show victorious because none of this shit matters and it's stupid as fuck. So it's like, hey, you guys won. It's just it's like when it's like when you get do you guys used to play video games and had like a younger sibling or something that was too young to play? They were like a toddler, so you just gave them a controller that wasn't plugged in and they felt like they were playing. You know what I mean?
I was that younger sibling.
You were that guy?
Yes, I was that guy.
So whatever side of that you're on, but that's this situation here. They gave TNA the controller and said, you won the game. They didn't win shit, bro. They look like a joke.
They won the respect of all the TNA fans out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I think I finally figured out that Apple thing. I think they bundled all my subscriptions. All right. All right. Well, listen. What's next now? What happens now? Now that TNA won, they won.
They go on to do their own thing at Bound for Glory.
Oh.
The saga will continue. Can Kalani Jordan, the NXT wrestler, hang on to the Knockouts Championship? Can Trick Williams, the NXT wrestler, hang on to the TNA Championship? Can the Hardys, can they hang on to the NXT Championship, or will the Dudleys have to come out of retirement and defend 2 sets of belts? There's so much intrigue going into Bound for Glory.
It's gonna be
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
It's gonna happen, folks.
Let's not do that.
War Games.
Do you and going by this booking, do you really think that WWE would waste a War Games on TNA? They're so low class, second class, third class citizens.
Yes. They should have brought Matt Morgan back for TNA, Team TNA.
Anything. If we had an alumni match, now that would have been something.
An alumni match, yeah. Bring Hernandez, who else? Abyss. Can he still go?
Isn't he a traitor?
No, Bruce will get mad at him if he tries to go out there.
Chris Parks, have him come back as the fucking as the lawyer. No, anyone? His brother? No. All right. Anyway, all right, folks, it's time to go home. Hey, not for nothing. An hour 30-something minutes. Nice.
With a 3-man booth.
With a 3-man booth. This is how you do it, folks. This is how you do it, man. I'm just saying. Professor, what's going on, brother? Yo, first and foremost, thank you for joining this, man. It's always nice to have you on, bro. I don't know why you're off today, but is there nothing happening in your line of work today?
No, just a day off from work. You know, sometimes you gotta charge the batteries, recharge the batteries.
Good for you. Take tomorrow off too, bro. Tell them I said it's okay.
One and done. That's all.
I won't stooge you off that you work at a gas station at the Glory Hole. But all right, brother, what you got going on, my friend?
Well, this coming weekend, the Pro Wrestling Reflection will be back episodically, episode 197. And since this is October, we will be talking about Halloween Havoc 1994, the epic trilogy to the match between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair in the cage. Me and TW will be talking about that. So follow my YouTube channel, guys, at Pro Wrestling Reflection, or just type in PW Hustle PROF. That's PW Hustle Prof.
All right, so it's Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, right? Steel cage match. What other matches were there that match that night that were like a big deal? Anything else?
I know Vet's favorite match of that night was Johnny B. Bad defending the TV championship against the Honky Tonk Man. So we'll talk about that in depth. And of course, Big Van Vader against, well, he wasn't called the Big Boss Man in that year. He was called the Guardian Angel.
Oh my God. I remember that. Ray Traylor, right? Yeah. Yeah, we need him here in New York City. Good. Bet.
I would rather have seen Big Van Vader versus the Honky Tonk.
That would have been dope. And who gives a shit on a pole match? Let me just throw up the Squirtle. All right, so what else you got there? Anything else, Professor?
No, that's all. Just follow the link on the bottom, and subscribe to the PWR channel.
Am I wrong? Does Squirtle look a lot like Tommy Wonder?
He needs a little bit more facial hair.
That's fair. What you got there? The good old veteran.
Oh, Ad Opinion Haver everywhere. All the shows I do here, all the shows I tell you to watch. That's all.
That's it. And same shit with me. We'll just sign off with that. You know where to find us. Again, Professor, what's your Twitter gimmick there again, Professor?
PW Hustle PROF. That's PW Hustle Prof.
And of course, I'm at Big Ray Hernandez, as you see down there, and at Opinion Haver everywhere. And don't forget to tune back into $2 Tuesdays. Did you play anything this week, Vet? Or you?
Oh, I've been playing that Ghost of Yote. Could be Game of the Year 2025.
Oh, that's the sequel to the Ghost of what the hell was it? What was it?
Tsushima.
Tsushima. Yeah, Tsushima. The Ghost of Tanahashi. All right,
Ghost of Tanahashi.
Folks, the Ghost of Tanahashi. We are out of here. Professor, hang on for a minute. We will see you next week for your next level wrestling review. Thank you for joining us. We had a nice crowd today. I love you guys. Later, taters, as Elizabeth says. Cold-blooded is popping. Cold-blooded. Love you guys. TN Couponer still giving you deals, man. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do, brother? When NXT and TNA run wild on you.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
This is the Hustler Rip Rogers. Yeah, it's fucking me. Yeah, and listen to the fucking Hameen Media Group. That's Ben Hameen Media Group from Rip Rogers. Go get him and go fuck yourself.